it's chicken cooked in red wine, alright? So obviously there's red wine goes into it. Now, in relation to the wine, you do really want a good wine because the sauce itself is going to be made from the wine, alright? Now, the wine is actually going to be the base for the marinade. So I would use a good Burgundy to actually a good Beaujolais. A good Beaujolais would work extremely well. That's what we're going to be using today in this. The next part of coq au vin is silver skin onions. That's a classic part of the dish as well. Again, these are small onions that are going to be cooked whole as they are. They're going to be going into the marinade as well. Mushrooms, we're going to be quartering these mushrooms. If we really wanted to be, you know, fancy and la-di-da, what we do is we turn these mushrooms, but we're not going to go that far. Carrots, as I said, carrots are optional. You can put them in, which we are doing here, alright. Also as well, lardons of bacon, fresh lardons of bacon, which we have here. We're going to actually prepare this bacon into, we're going to cook this bacon into lardons when we're ready to go. We're not quite there yet. And then basically you can as well finish off with a brunoise of potato. Now the potato really should go in at the end, about a half an hour before it's finished cooking. So I have this brunoise potato and carrot here. I'm keeping this aside, and this is going to be kept for when we're actually cooking the veg. So, but this is not going into the marinade. And then the last but not least is, again, this is optional, but I prefer it in the actual recipe, is a good shot of brandy. So does that answer your question?
Yes, Chef.
Okay, now, that's it. Ready to go. Okay, now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to create a bouquet garni, alright?
A what?
A what? A bouquet garni, alright? A bouquet garni is a natural flavour enhancer, alright? It consists of parsley stalks, fresh thyme and bay leaves, alright? We're going to use, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, right? We're going to use the leek, as we're going to use actually these leaves here, okay, as a base to put the actual bouquet garni together. Alright. Now again, a bouquet garni is classic in relation to French cookery. We want to trim it off. Alright. Get them both around the same length. Okay. Now, first things first, parsley stalks into the centre like that. Right? Next, we want, because we're doing a large marinade, right, we want to have about 3 bay leaves. Okay? So we'll actually we'll use 4 bay leaves. Bay leaves on top, like so. Now, fresh thyme, like so. That's about enough. Okay? Now, see the way I've done that? We're making a sandwich. Alright? This last piece of the leek goes on top, like that. Then either we use an elastic band or thread, butcher's twine, you know, kitchen twine. Okay? So pick it up around once, around 3 times, last time. Now, what we have here is we have our bouquet garni, right? Now, as it is, that, smell it.
Whoa.
Yeah?
Strong.
Strong, yeah, but that's exactly what we want. It's strong because it's going to do 2 things. One, while it's marinating in there with the wine and the chicken and everything else, right, it's going to pass out flavour into the chicken, the vegetables, the wine, everything, and all of that, right, is going to go into the actual sauce itself. And as well as that, when we're actually cooking the chicken and the wine, this is also going to go into the cooking liquor as well, right? So we're getting two bangs out of it, right? So one is going to be for the marinade and two is for the cooking, right? So that's your classic poke garni. As I said, bay leaf, thyme, parsley stalk, either wrapped in twine, kitchen twine, or kitchen twine or elastic, right? As I said, leaf, stalk, thyme. That's it. Parsley. All right. So that's going into the marinade. Now, next into the marinade goes our.
Yeah, chopped them.
Nope, they're going in whole. These are there's a magic flying carrot there, and these are the silver skin onions that we talked about, yeah. So they're literally going in like that. Okay. Next is we need to throw in some mushrooms. Now, what we want to do with this is now we're taking away the chopping knives and we're using smaller knives. Okay. And again, remember, use the right knife for the right job. Right? Okay. Let's go. Let's get these mushrooms quartered. All right. Now, what I mean by quartered, go on to this. Okay. Like that. In four. All right. Once we have them done, they're going into the marinade. Alright? Alright, okay, that's that. Now we can pull that in. Now, how are we doing? Yeah? Straight in, okay? Now remember, if you're doing this at home, you would be obviously nowhere near using the same levels of portions as we are here, okay? It's just as we said here, we've got a function on that's coming up, so we're doing it in an industrial batch, alright? So that's that. Now, can I have the chicken, please? First things first, legs in, okay? So what we want to do is we want to just bury these down into the actual marinades, or the actual the mirepoix itself, okay? So get them right down into it. And bury them down in it, okay? Don't worry about where they're going, because they're all going to be coming back out again once we have marinated these and left them in the marinade. Now, watch your fingers off your skin off the bones, because they are sharp, alright? That's it. You know what? I think we could actually split that in two. Yep, I think we can split that in two. So let's just take. We can literally have it. Exactly. Will you remember to remind me to order kitchen twine, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's your half. There's your half. Okay, let's get rid of that there. And just get it all the way around, yeah? Make sure as well that the bouquet garni is right down near the bottom, okay? Now, how do you fix? Okay? just flatten it down. Now, next, we need to get rid of our boards now and just get them offside while we just finish this off. We're going to be using them again. Okay, right now we have the base ready. What's left to go into this marinade now is the brandy and the wine. Okay, so for this you'd normally use, if you're cooking at home and you're cooking for 2 people, alright, you'd use a shot of brandy, which is around about 2 tablespoons of brandy. Okay, we're not, obviously, so we're using 2 double brandies here. So you can pop yours in there and I'll pop mine in here. Okay, so take those glasses offside for me, please. And now the last is we have our bottle of Beaujolais here. Now we're actually using a good Beaujolais for this. Okay, we're going to use the complete bottle for both of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to split it in half. Okay, and I would actually say we might even need more red wine to finish this off. What I want to do with this, while Declan has gone to get us another bottle of wine, is we want to make sure that we get the chicken down into it. Can you see the way it's actually already starting to change colour? Can you see that? It's actually gone slightly darker, so even since we poured that wine in on top. Now by the time this is completed its marinade, right, like as I said, this is going to need a minimum of 60 hours marinating. Alright, 3 days. Okay, it's a long time, yeah, but the whole thing about it is that the process at the end of it is well worth the wait. Okay, because the end result flavour wise is absolutely spectacular. So we have another bottle of wine just coming into us now. That's great, thank you. Now, okay, so now we're just finishing off the marinade here, and this is all going to go into this now. Okay, now, like as I said, we need to just press this down. So make sure, watch your sleeves in your jacket there. Press it down and get it, try and get as much of the chicken submerged under the wine as possible. Okay? Now, as I said, you can already, even though the wine has only gone in another few minutes, you can see the chicken already starting to change colour, yeah? So what's going to happen is by the time the marination is complete, when we take this chicken out, and when the chicken is cooked, it's going to be completely red. Right? It's going to absorb the tannins out of the grape, the colours, okay? And the flesh of the chicken is going to be completely red. Right? So that's it. That's the coq au vin marinade. The last thing now to do is to cover it, get it into the fridges, and leave it marinating. We're not even going to look at it, we're not going to touch it, we're just going to cover it and walk away from it. And as I said, we're going to come back to it in around about 3 days' time, and we'll finish off the cooking process then. So you can remember what the chicken looks like now, guys. And chefs, remember this as well, that when the chicken goes in, you need to make sure that you use a good quality wine with this, okay? Because it's the wine that's actually going to be used to create the sauce. So what you don't want is, you don't want a cheap bottle of wine to go in onto this, because all that's going to happen is it's just going to reflect the end result in the sauce, okay? So that's it, chefs. I'll talk to you when we're back cooking this off, and we'll see you in 3 days' time.